Why we don't need validation from others. In life, there is a natural tendency to seek validation from others, whether in the form of praise, recognition, or approval. However, relying too much on external validation can hinder our happiness and personal growth. Ultimately, letting go of the need for external validation is a form of emotional freedom that helps us discover our true selves and achieve genuine happiness. Believe that you are valuable just by being yourself, and no validation is more important than the one that comes from within. Here are some reasons why we don't need to constantly seek validation from others. 1. Happiness is a personal responsibility. True happiness comes from within, not from other people's opinions or judgments. If we depend on others for our happiness, we give them power over our emotions and self-worth. By understanding that we are responsible for our own happiness, we gain the freedom to live according to our values and desires. Taking full responsibility for our happiness makes us emotionally independent and allows us to set healthy standards for ourselves. We can focus on what truly matters for personal growth, self-acceptance, and achieving goals that align with our values. We do not need validation from others to feel happy or worthy. 2. Not everyone understands our situation. People often give opinions based on their limited perspectives without truly understanding our struggles, dreams, or life goals. It's important to recognize that every individual has a different background, experience, and viewpoint. Seeking validation from others means placing our happiness and self-confidence in their hands, which may not always be relevant to what we are experiencing or need. 3. It can make us lose ourselves. Losing ourselves happens when we rely too much on others for validation. This dependency leads us to live according to expectations that are not truly ours, gradually eroding our identity. Constantly seeking recognition only brings anxiety and dissatisfaction because our happiness is controlled by others instead of ourselves. We may start making decisions based on what others expect rather than what we truly want. This can create feelings of emptiness or long-term dissatisfaction. Losing ourselves happens when we surrender control of our lives to others. Therefore, be your own best friend because the most valuable validation comes from within. 4. Other people's opinions are not always accurate or objective. Never make life decisions solely based on other people's opinions. Their perspectives are often influenced by personal experiences, biases, and values, making them subjective rather than an absolute truth about who we are. Relying on external validation to measure our self-worth can weaken our confidence and make us lose direction. 5. Building stronger self-confidence. Building self-confidence means understanding that we are enough without needing to prove it to others. True confidence comes from within, not from external recognition. Depending on external validation makes us vulnerable to changing opinions, making it difficult to feel stable and satisfied. When we stop seeking validation from others, we free ourselves from the burden of constantly meeting their expectations. Focusing on our values and potential helps us realize that our worth is not determined by external judgments. Accepting ourselves, including our flaws, creates a solid foundation for lasting confidence. 6. Avoiding disappointment and emotional dependence. Relying on validation from others often leads to disappointment and emotional dependency. When we depend too much on others' approval, we give away control of our happiness. This can make us feel inadequate when we don't receive the validation we expect. Instead, focusing on self-validation builds confidence and appreciation for our values. Self-acceptance makes us emotionally independent and reduces the risk of disappointment from unmet expectations. Our worth does not depend on external opinions. By fully embracing ourselves, we can live with more peace, authenticity, and freedom from the pressure to constantly please others. 7. Live for yourself, not for others. Ultimately, life is a personal journey. We are the only ones who truly understand what is best for us. When we stop seeking validation from others, we give ourselves the freedom to live in the most authentic and fulfilling way. Seeking external validation often traps us in an endless cycle of expectations. Living for yourself does not mean being selfish, but rather valuing yourself as the center of your life. This is the key to living a more authentic, fulfilling, and meaningful life. True happiness comes from self-acceptance and understanding ourselves, not from others' judgments. We do not need validation from others because true self-worth comes from within, not from external recognition. Valuing ourselves allows us to remain authentic, confident, and focused on life goals that truly matter to us. External validation is temporary, while self-acceptance provides a strong foundation for long-term happiness. Remember, other people's opinions do not define who we are worthy simply because we exist. Thank you for watching.